Welcome to Kumbaya Corner. It's your host, me. I'm the same host that was the host in the past 3 episodes. We've come a long way. Before I go into today's talk, I just want to say thank you guys for listening, because receiving positive feedback and people are actually listening to what I have to say via Spotify and the comfort of their homes when they could be listening to their favorite artists. A lot of artists are dropping new albums, but you guys are choosing to listen to my podcast, so thank you so much. But yeah, per usual, grab a seat, or if you're at work, just chill, put in your AirPods or your earphones or whatever your listening device is, and grab a drink and just welcome. I'm going to be talking about something I wrote on my Medium. For those people that are not aware, I write in my free time on Substack and Medium as well. Each platform has like different things that I post, because I'm multifaceted and then some of my poems are on my Instagram, so if you want to read it, you can always check out my Medium. I think my Medium is just my name, Ivana, and then my Substack is Kumbaya Corner. So what I wrote on Medium in January 2022, that's what I'm going to be digesting, and I titled it Unqualified ? Yeah, me too. So I'm gonna read it and then we can get into it. I've never found myself qualified for any of the roles I've occupied in life. I'd attribute this to being the eldest daughter, a role that equips you for so much, often more than you think you can handle, but I digress. I've often found myself feeling unqualified for positions I've been chosen to occupy, be it in school, work, or other circles I find myself in. For example, my time in secondary school, I think I was in just 2 or 3, which is year 8 or 9. I was chosen to be the timekeeper. And for those that are not familiar, the timekeeper's role is basically to ring the bell to signify break time, assembly, or the next class. So it was my responsibility to ensure the entire school or the entire junior school stayed on schedule. Sounds pretty simple, but at the time, I didn't even own a watch. I couldn't properly tell time from an analog clock. Not that I owned one. I'd borrow watches from friends or ask someone to tell me the time so I could ring the bell promptly. I often wondered, what made the board select me for this position? What did they see in me that made them think I was perfect for the role? So I'm gonna pause and just get into that. So yeah, that was one of the times. I wouldn't say it was like the first time, but that was one time that I was chosen to do something that I had no idea like how to do, like where do I even start. And even right now, like my current job, I basically work as a diabetes specialist in a hospital. So when I go for like work dinners and stuff, I meet like other people outside my team of people that I normally work with. I meet other people, and then a very common question there is like, what's your qualification? And I'm like, oh, I just got the job. I have no hospital experience prior to this. I actually just started this job in April. I'm just learning on the job. And then they look so impressed, and I'm like, it is impressive. I have to be honest with myself. It is impressive, but it's like at the time when I had just started, it really wasn't. Like I had so much anxiety, even from when I got the job. I was happy to have a job, right? But then I was like, okay, but what was my job? Like what is my job description? Like even today, when people still ask me, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, how do I even explain this? And then I do my best to explain, and they're like, oh wow, that's so impressive. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty much learning on the job. And it's from seeing, like when I talk to other people about it, from seeing their reaction is when I started to realize that, actually I've actually come a long way from when I started to now. And it's like, I wasn't qualified for this job. Like I wouldn't say, do you get what I mean? So I thought anyway, but it's like I went for an interview, and the people at the interview felt I was qualified. So what did they see in me? What did they see in me? How did I present myself that day that made them think, I think this girl will be a good fit for the job? Which is a question that is on my mind and probably on everyone else's, because this is just basically a form of encouragement to you not to disqualify yourself too early from things that you feel like you are not qualified to do, because yeah, I'm gonna get into it. But this experience reminds me of a few quotes that resonate with me deeply. The first is from a fairy tale, not my favorite, but it's the most applicable, and it is, "You are more powerful than you know." It's commonly attributed to Cinderella's fairy godmother in Disney's Cinderella 2015. The simple yet profound reminder that we often don't know the full extent of what we are capable of. I know it's cringe when they say, you really don't know until you give it a try. And you are more powerful than you know. Take it from Cinderella's fairy godmother, guys. And the second one comes from the Bible. It says, "He that is in you is greater than he that is in the world." 1 John 4 verse 4. As a Bible-believing Christian, this is more than just a quote. It is life itself. It's a manifestation and confirmation that the power residing in me, sourced from God, is greater than anything I could ever imagine. And I don't know if anyone else has been seeing any of these things about like quantum leaping and manifesting and everything, but basically I've kind of been down a rabbit hole these few couple of days. I wouldn't really go deep into it, but I would just say like an overview. Basically, it's this belief that like whatever you want, there's a version of you that already has it, and all you have to do is basically tap into that version. And that's combined with basically God saying what is in you is greater than what is in the world, combined with Cinderella's godmother saying you are more powerful than you know. I think these three factors are just things that ring in my head every day, and it's like you might not think you are qualified, but it's like you can be, and someone else sees that in you. It just takes one person to believe in you for you to actually believe in yourself and just connect with the version of you that is actually, that has this thing that you want. And it's not something that you lay in bed all day and be like, oh yeah, I'm manifesting. There's work to be done to reach this version of you. But when you carry yourself with so much confidence, you can, you just have this aura that no one is going to stop you from doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, what is life if not learning? What is life if not school? Do you see what I mean? These quotes resonate with me because they remind me that when I'm chosen for roles that feel beyond my ability, it's often because someone else sees a potential in me that I've yet to discover. Their faith in me pushes me to tap into the power within, not just the willpower to get the job done, but the tools I already possess to excel. In moments like this, I've looked at the task at hand, silenced the voice of self-sabotage, and chosen to rise above doubts. Time and time again, I've surprised myself and excelled. Whether it's ringing the bell in secondary school, barely knowing how to read time, or stepping into larger roles later in life, I've realized that being unqualified doesn't mean incapable. It just means you're in a position to grow, to draw on strength I didn't know I had, and to lean on the divine power that I always had in me. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Keep going, like literally keep going. The harder the task, just think about the character development. That's how I see it, and there's always something to learn from all of these experiences. So whatever it is that you feel like you are not qualified to do, you're like, oh, I want to do that, but like, can I? You absolutely can. You absolutely can, and it just you believing that you can do it and actually trying and not being scared to fail. Like, unpopular opinion, but I don't even think failure is real. Like, I don't think failure exists. Failure only exists when you give it a try once and then you just, never pick it up again. Obviously, all of this in context. Don't jump off a cliff and say you were trying to fly or some shit like that. But what I mean basically is, if you think you're all unqualified, we all are. But it's like, do you want to remain unqualified? And it doesn't mean you're incapable as well. It just means you have an opportunity to do something magnificent. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of myself for how far I've come in my job, learning on the job, and learning and unlearning, making mistakes. And also, let's not forget, like, nobody is an island. So, in the process of learning, don't be scared to ask questions and take corrections when necessary. It's really, really not the end of the world. Like, I really had to learn that someone correcting you is actually not the end of the world. I thought this was. I really, really thought it was the end of the world when someone says, "Oh, you didn't do this right." It's like, okay, just kill me. But be ready to receive correction, criticism, and use that and be better than you were yesterday. So yeah, this is a challenge to all my listeners to do something, step into that role that you think you're unqualified to do, apply for that job, just do something that old you said, nah, I can't do that, and surprise yourself. So yeah, that was today's episode of Kumbaya Corner, and I hope you guys found this interesting and informative and just encouraging in general. Thank you guys so much for listening, and see you guys next time. Bye.